Hi everyone, I invite you to come do a workout with me tonight. This workout is going to work on inner thighs. If you have tight inner thighs, this workout's for you because I want to work on your hip alignment so that your pelvis stays level, equal. We don't want to hip hike, we don't want to rotate our pelvis. And sometimes that happens and it throws us out of alignment, and then we get back pain, we get hip pain, and our inner thigh feels like our groin is being pulled. So I just want to give you a little relief if that ever happens to you. I've encountered many clients that this happens to, so I figured I'd do a quick little workout to address this issue. All right, so let's begin. I'm gonna warm you up with some pelvic tilts, finding neutral spine. We'll do some bridging, and I'll add some yoga poses so you can stretch your inner thighs and do some hip openers, because the hips can get really tight and then make the low back hurt when things slip out of alignment. All right, so let's begin. My name is Tracy. My channel is Downward Dog Rising, and I appreciate you for watching. Let's begin. Start off lying down on your mat. We're just gonna lower all the way down. Your knees are gonna go hip distance apart. Feet are side by side, hip distance apart. And then feel like your two shoulders are straight above your hip bones. Tighten your core into the length of your spine. And I want you to use a really deep inhale through your nose. Feel the front, sides, and back of your ribs expand fully. On a deep exhalation, tighten in, and I want you to shift pelvis back. Imprint spine into the mat, and then inhale, allow your hips to roll forward. Exhale, essentially it's like you're doing cat-cow, lying down on your back, supine. So we just inhale, the back lifts slightly off the mat, and then we exhale as we lengthen our low back against the mat. Inhale, rocking forward, exhale, rock back, imprint your spine against mat. 3 more. Exhale. As your hips rock back, posterior pelvic tilt, feel how it starts to open right here and here inside those 2 hip hinges. 2 more times. Inhale forward. Exhale, rock it back. Press all 4 corners of your feet into the mat. 1 more time. You're going to inhale forward. Exhale, rock it back. Now, find your neutral in between. Neutral pelvis, neutral spine. Pull your 2 hip bones straight across. Get transversus abdominis active. Pull across to navel like a belt. And now I want you to put no weight at all in the neck. It's across middle back, shoulder blade shelf. You'll know you're in the right place because the front of your shoulders, your collarbones open wide. Arms press against the mat and just bridge. And really feel like your tailbone stretches away from you. So you want to have clean lines. You don't want to go way up like that, out of alignment. Keep the hips in line with the knees, chest open. Tighten into your core, lower pelvis to mat. And then if you feel wobbly, I've just wobbled sideways. You want to make sure you counteract that by drawing deeper into your core. And then you bring your hips straight to the mat. 8, lift up, straight down to the mat. 7, width across chest, come straight to the mat. 6, press all 4 corners of your feet into the mat, no weight in neck. Come all the way down, feel lengthened spine. 3, lift up, back down. 2, feel width across chest, down. Last one. Your 2 hip bones keep pulling tight across, and lower hips to mat. Excellent. Hug knees to chest. Inhale, reach into that space mid-back between your shoulder blades. Exhale, release. One more time. Take a deep inhale to the space, mid-back, between the shoulder blades. Exhale, release. Excellent. Now, your two hips are straight on the mat, facing above you to the sky. What we essentially did with those pelvic tilts, 12 o'clock navel, 6 o'clock pubic bone. So we went forward, back, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, just one more. Come back center. Hips are in between those two tilts, straight above to ceiling. Those two hip bones now. Right hip is 3 o'clock on the face of a clock. Left hip is 9 o'clock on the face of a clock. Place your thumbs at the bottom of each rib cage. Place your index fingers right onto your hip bones. Feel how there's a bone at the bottom of the ribs and there's a bone where your hip bone is. Now we're going to focus on lengthening soft tissue between those two bony landmarks. Okay, what do I want you to do? Keep your hips aligned straight across from each other. Straight line across here, 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. We're going to section your pelvis into two halves. So like we're going right down the center of the pelvis. I want you to keep 3 o'clock down on your mat, and I want you to only lift 9 o'clock. So go from your navel straight out to your left hip, 9 o'clock. Place your thumbs on the bottom of your ribs, your index fingers on your hip bones, so there's space. See? Index fingers, thumbs. Keep that space the same amount the entire time. Avoid squishing it together, because if that space squishes together, it's because your hip is hiking up, taking the room away. So, thumbs on ribs, index fingers on hip bones, stretch apart. Keep your 3 o'clock right hip down. Now elevate the left hip up, the left hip lifts, straight line, and bring it down by engaging the muscles to the left of your navel and pull the left side of the pelvis against the mat like a guide wire. So your 9 o'clock lifts and 9 o'clock comes down. Keep the space open. 9 o'clock lifts, 9 o'clock comes down. Free the space on the left lower quadrant of your spine. The left hip comes down. The core tightens to your back end. 4. The hip goes up. The hip goes down. 3. Make sure you're not hiking it. 2 more. The left hip goes up. Space is there. The left hip goes down. Last one. Lift the hip up and bring the hip down. Excellent. Now go to the right side. So your 9 o'clock stays on mat. Now the 3 o'clock lifts up. Ribs out of hips. Straight line. Lift up the hip. Notice if one side wants to hike. Keep the length. Tighten the core. Go to the side of the navel, pull those abdominals down into the mat so you keep that space open. The hip goes up, the hip goes down. Elevate, the hip goes up, the hip goes down. Feel the low part of the back, opposite of that side. So if the right hip lifts, 3 o'clock lifts, the low back on the right is opening. And exhale, breathing in, exhale, 4 more. The hip goes up, the hip goes down. 3, the hip goes up, the hip goes down. 2, the hip goes up, the hip goes down. Last one. Now, keep the space, left hip, and then the right hip. Keep that space, left to right, left to right. 3 more. Keep that space. 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, pelvic clock. Last set. 3, come in, and 9. This was 3 over here. I should say this was 9. Hug knees to chest. Allow your low back to drop and sink gently into your mat. Now place one hand on right kneecap, the other hand on the other kneecap, left knee. Now circle and come in, little knee stirs, keep pelvis stabilized, and feel how those femur bones go deeper into the acetabulum and the ball and hip socket, the acetabulum. 3. Core deepens into your back. 2. Last one. Now you're going to reverse it. You're going to inhale, exhale, tighten core to spine, and 4. Tighten core to spine, and 3. Scoop abdominal wall to spine, 2. And last one, excellent. All right. So next, what I'd like for you to do is crisscross one ankle over the knee, and then you're just resting. You don't want to have direct pressure on the knee. Make sure it's comfortable. Tighten those 2 hip bones straight across to the center. Now, activate this left glute, spine long, and just bridge up. Keep the hips level. I want you to turn on your left glute. Tighten your core in. Now set the pelvis back to the mat. Flex this top foot. You're going to lift up. Squeeze your left glute. And lower down to your mat. And 8 more. I want you to activate your left glute and lower down to the mat. And 7. Straight lift up. And straight back to mat. 6 more. Elevate. Scoop your core in. Straight down. Being careful that you avoid any wobbling side to side. If you do, scoop tighter to your center. And 5, squeeze your left glute, lower to the mat. And 4, come straight down. 3, turn on your glutes. And 2 more. Last one. Come all the way in, uncross, place right foot on mat, crisscross, opposite ankle over knee, so left ankle over the right thigh, flex this left foot, keep the elongation there between the ribs and the hip bones, collarbones wide, scoop abdominals deeply into the spine, elevate, lift up, squeeze that right glute this time, straight down. Tighten your core all the way in, straight line across these 2 hip bones. Come straight into the mat. 8. All the way down. And then 7. Squeeze your glute. Come straight to the mat. And 6. Keep stretching the low part of the back away from your center. 5, keep the length in your spine. 4, squeeze your right glute. 3, exhale, scoop navel in. Core is more than just the navel, pubic bone to navel, zip up. 2 more. 1 more. Elevate. And come straight in. Excellent. Uncross. All right. Next, what I'd like for you to do, you're going to take left foot, reach to lateral pinky toe side of that foot. Let your knee fall outward into a half happy baby, Ananda, Ardha Ananda Balasana. Lengthen. Let that knee fall outward. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the crease in the left front of your hip and thigh. Maybe you keep this knee bent to stabilize hips a little easier, or you extend to open the front of this right hip flexor, whatever works best for you. Back is neutral, or opening this left hip Feel that top of that femur bone just fall back into that hip socket. Breathing in, breathing out. Gently release. Now, take a hold of that right pinky toe side of your foot. Let this knee fall out to the mat. Your hips are still squared. Maybe this left leg stays bent for stability. Maybe you extend it straight. And you're just letting this knee fall outward towards your mat. Breathing in, breathing out. Doing a hip opener. Stretching your inner thigh. Inhale, exhale. Ardha Nandavalasana. 2 more deep inhales here. 1 more time, deep inhale. And exhale softly, gently release. Excellent. Now I'm just going to have you extend both legs up. Feel the backs of those thighs lengthen and stretch. Fold those knees in 2 more times. Extend those legs long. And fold those knees back in. And 1 more time, you're going to extend and gently come back in. Excellent. Now this next thing that I want you to do, see if it's okay. You're going to stretch the backs of your thighs. Keep tailbone heavy on the mat. And I just want you to reach your legs apart. Flex your feet, point, come back in. Inhale, keep pelvis stable. Exhale, squeeze your inner thighs back together. Flex your feet. When you point, pointing's like that. So you flex your feet, your point, your toes. Tighten core to spine. Flex and point. Core scoops in. 5. 4 more. Use your core. And 3. Really tighten abdominals tight to the spine so your back avoids lifting off the mat. 2. Last one. Excellent. Now I'm going to ask you to support your head and your neck. Float up. If that's too much on the neck or you have osteoporosis, just bring your hands under the back of your pelvis. And then you're just going to let one leg lower down easy and slow. And then you're going to lower the other leg down easy and slow. So your back stays connected and your neutral spine on the mat. It's going to look like that. Controls your core, deepens into your spine. So that's one way. Keep head, neck, shoulders down, spine elongated. Or without pulling elbows together, your elbows stay wide open to the sides of your shoulders. You scoop from the center in under those ribs into the length of your spine. Little space between the front of your chin and the neck. And then you're going to lower down the same way and elevate up. And then you lower down and then you elevate up. And the leg goes down to the point where you can still keep your back on the mat. Scoop in deeply with control, concentration, centering. Lower and lift. Keep those collarbones wide open and apart. Breathe in, breathe out. Scoop in. 4. Back is on the mat. Elbows wide. 3. And inhale, exhale. 2 more. And inhale, exhale. Last one. You're going to inhale, exhale. 1 more. Inhale, exhale. Wonderful. And just hug in. Gently rock side to side across the low back. Now think of these two hip bones tightening across to the center of your navel. Pelvis is secure on the mat. We're going to do a little helicopter. So for your helicopter, legs lift up, tighten in, scissor, 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 squeeze the outer hips and thighs, scoop navel to spine, come on to the other two sides, scissor, 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 come back the way you came, squeeze the side of those hips and thighs, scissor, 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 rotate, squeeze inner outer thigh, scissor, 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 scoop core tight to spine, circle, scissor, 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 come back around, last two, scissor, 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 and rotation, scoop in, 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, stay straight in alignment. I forgot where I was, last set, 1 and 2 and 3 and finish. Really squeeze the sides of those hips, end in the middle, draw inward, and just take one straight to the floor. Let your tailbone, sacrum settle into your mat. Point, and then come back. Switch. Reach under the knee, hug in. Spine settles down into your mat. Reach up, point, and then gently release. Good. Turn to your side. Now, I'm gonna have you do side lying oblique lifts. Internal obliques run around the sides of our waist, and then when our hips hike, usually one of our obliques is weaker. It's harder to stabilize on one side. So basically, we're gonna use our arm as a pillow, and we're just gonna extend our legs out straight. Your hips are still gonna be stacked in 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Either make a fist, make sure you're not shoulder hiking, palm or fist, press against the mat. You scoop deeply into your core. You never push your abdominal wall out. You have to pull in, and that's what stabilizes your pelvis and your hips. And then you lift both legs away from the floor, elevate, and then you lower down. Think of making some room here between the rib cage and the hip bone. Once again, ribs out of hips. Your 9 o'clock and your 3 o'clock are pulling tight all the way across. Elevate up, and then you lower down. You lift up, and then you lower down. 8 more. 7, reach and stretch. 6, 5, reach and stretch. 4, ribs wrap. 3, ribs wrap. 2 more. Internal, external obliques. Really feel these bottom obliques wrapping in. Last one. Now keep those legs up. Kick forward, kick back, kick forward, and kick back without losing your hip alignment. Kick forward, kick back. Squeeze your glutes. And 6, 5, use a smaller stance if you feel unstable. 5, 4, kick, 3, squeeze those glutes. 2 more. And last one, excellent. Now this top ankle lightly brushes off the bottom one. Squeeze outer hip, inner thigh. 7, outer hip, inner thigh without moving either hip. 6, outer hip, inner thigh. 5, 4, use your core. 3 more. 2 more. Precise motion. Concentrated, controlled. Reverse. 8, scoop and zip. 7, zip up from pubic bone to navel. 6, around and back. 5, control. Outer hip, inner thigh. 4, use your core. 3, use your core. Keep that top shoulder down away from ear. 2 more. Last one. Excellent. Good job. All right. We're gonna press up to the other side, swing those legs around. And once you swing those legs around, single file line, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles, lengthen. Stack those two hips once again, straight line, so that this top hip doesn't fall behind you. You're gonna relax this shoulder away from your ear. Make a fist or a palm pressing into the mat. You're gonna exhale as you lift both legs up. Keep your shoulders over the hips. Exhale, scoop in. Lower down, 8. Lift and lengthen. Lower down, 7. Use your core. And 6. 5. I just had a spine adjustment. So every now and then you'll hear a little pop or a click. Your body's adjusting itself. When you align your anatomical bony landmarks and then you activate the muscles, when you're aligned, you'll definitely get some adjustments in your body for the better. And 5, tighten the core to your spine. 4, stretch those legs long out of your center. Feel those obliques wrapping. 3, 2 more, reach and stretch. 1 more time, you're gonna reach and stretch. Now kick forward, kick back. 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock are straight across from each other. Inhale, exhale, stretch those legs long out of your center. No motion at all through those hips. Tighten those glutes. 5, kick, kick. 4, 3, kick, kick. 2 more. I'm going super slow tonight. I usually go a little faster. I'll do faster kicks, but I want you to have complete control. Last 2 and 1. Lightly brush top ankle over bottom ankle. Hips, knees, ankles, single file lines. Scoop into your center. You're gonna take that top leg back. Circle around, squeeze outer hip, inner thigh. 8, 7, outer hip, inner thigh. 6, and 5, tighten the abdominals into the back. 4, elevate your heart all the way up, up, up through top of head so you feel the length in your spine. 3, 2 more. Last one, reverse it. Lightly brush that ankle, squeeze the outer hip, inner thigh. 8, and 7, control. And 6, and 5, tighten the core. 4, and 3, 2, last one, and gently come in. Wonderful. All right, we're gonna fold those knees in. Now I want you to slowly push up to a seated position, and I'm taking you into our butterfly, seated butterfly. So what I want you to do here, you could do a little butterfly motion, get a little motion through the hips, through the thighs. And then we're just gonna have the bottoms of our feet rotating upward. So those femur bones twist deeper into your hip joints. Elevate your heart, sit tall. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep the length in your spine. Feel those inner thighs release. Sit tall. Keep rising up off your sits bones. Inhale, exhale. 2 more deep inhales, breathing in, breathing out. And 1 more time, gently release. Taking you into diamond. So our feet won't be so close to our groin or inner thighs. We just let our feet move away from our center. We form that diamond shape between our thighs now. So we're gonna elevate our heart, sit tall. Stretch your sternum, your breastbone tall. Crease here at that hip joint, where that crease, where the thigh meets the hip. And then we're gonna slowly fold forward from the hip socket, protecting our spine. Lift your heart, breathing in, breathing out. If you have a yoga block, you can place it on your feet You could have it come up tall so your forehead could rest on it. You're gonna feel a stretch across your low back as well as your inner thighs. Your hips opening. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Stretch your breastbone even longer. Stretch, 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 hip hinge. One more deep inhale here. And then slowly we're gonna elevate straight up, close our knees together. Take palms under the shoulders, elevate and gently swivel from side to side so you let your hips release. Just going right over the side of that hip crease on each side. You'll feel your back loosen up as well. Side to side, last two. And one, excellent. All right, next what I want you to do, we're gonna do a frog from Yin Yoga, and I'm gonna do half because I think it's a little easier on the knees, and also if you have a torsion in your pelvis, you're gonna be able to stabilize it better and keep it straight so it doesn't exacerbate that torque in it. So what I want you to do here, we're gonna face the mat. Let's do right leg first. So we're gonna take the left leg long, lower down to the mat. So our left leg goes straight behind us. I'm just gonna slide so my knee is on the mat. And then our knee and our ankle are gonna align. Maybe the ankle is a little bit further, but make sure your knee and your ankle, keep them aligned to protect the integrity of the hip and the knee. And then you're gonna feel how this inner thigh is supported. It's like opening out away from the center of the pelvis. Feel that hip crease. The top of this foot's resting on the mat, and you're just gonna gently relax your forehead on the backs of your hands. And breathe. Being careful, you can feel it better. Like if you were to twist your pelvis and twist your hips, you would feel yourself starting to go uneven. So think of those two hip bones facing directly down on the mat below you. Straight line, that's your 3 o'clock, your 9 o'clock from the pelvic clock we did earlier from our Pilates work. Stay here and breathe. You're gonna feel that pulling in the groin on the inner thigh. If it gets to be too intense, of course, you're gonna come out of it. You're not gonna stay there and force yourself to stay in something that's too intense. Or if there's any pain in the knee, the ankle, the hip, any bones grinding into the mat, you can always put something soft under the bone, under your kneecap, under the ankle. And if that still bothers you, then I'd advise you to come out of the stretch. Breathing in, breathing out. We always align our joint angles to keep our joints safe. Notice how the back of your pelvis feels from holding this position. Really stretch the tailbone down away from you, lengthening, easing any tension in the back of the hips and the low back. One more deep inhale here. And gently release. Take this right leg all the way straight out. And then maybe just wiggle hips for a moment, side to side. Release any tension in your back. Now we're gonna do this on the other side. So then this right leg just goes straight on the mat. Now this left leg, I'm gonna slide over so my knee is on the mat. You bend that left knee, align your knee with the ankle, flex your foot. And now you're aligning those two hip bones straight down underneath you in your 3 o'clock and your 9 o'clock once again. Now this part of the tailbone, this low part of the back, the sacrum back here, just pull it down long, reach, and then you're gonna relax your forehead on the backs of the hands. Breathing in, that foot is flexed. Feel the inside of that thigh. Maybe you have your forehead resting on a yoga block for more support. Breathe in, breathe out. If you have any tension, you inhale to the spot that feels tight. You bring your attention, your awareness, and the breath there. You breathe into it and you gently exhale the tension out of that spot. And you'll find out that works out really well. Breathing in and breathing out. One more deep inhale. Protect the knee, hip, knee, ankle in alignment. Exhale. One more deep inhale. Exhale, softly, gently release. Slowly come out. Take that leg, extend it out. And then I want you to just rock side to side. Release your spine. Excellent. Now from here, relax your forehead on the backs of your hands. Rock side to side ever so gently. Now take your hands under the shoulders, roll the shoulders up away from ears, open heart, chest open, collarbones wide. Inhale. Now you're gonna press into those palms, elevate straight up, and then I'm gonna have you curl the toes under, your sits bones stretch behind you, and your heart pulls forward and through the arms. Really stretch those sits bones to the backs of your thighs. Your heart pulls forward, maybe reach through into the fingertips, placing forehead on a yoga block or forehead on the mat. And just come into a little Balasana rest pose just to release your spine. Think of those sits bones pulling to the backs of those thighs. Release your back. One more deep inhale. And gently, softly release. Walk your hands under the shoulders. And slowly we're going to lift our hearts away from the mat. Coming all the way up. What I want you to do next, crisscross at your ankles. Sit back through hips. Bring feet forward. And then gently, I want you to come into a little reverse plank. So you're going to extend those heels out. Activate your glutes as you scoop core in. Elevate, lengthen. Circle those arms. Press into your palms and lift straight up. I'm losing my mat. My feet are sliding. Hold on. There we go. Elevate and lengthen. Breathe in. Feel those collarbones widen. Exhale. Look straight ahead. Keep chest open. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Deep inhale. And softly, gently exhale. Come down to your mat. I want to take you into a straddle next. This feels really good on the hips and the inner thighs. So we're just going to take one leg straight. And we don't want to go to the end range. We have to leave something to stretch into. So we're softening our thighs for a second. Just shake them out. That's it. Just release through here, release through here. Now we're going to center. We want to make sure we're not leaning onto one hip more than the other. And then once we feel like we're centered, lift the front of your quads up off the knees for a second. Actively energize the front of those thighs. Feel how it drops the backs of those thighs deeper into the mat and just presses them out. Now we're just going to take our hands side to side and then gently press into the mat. And then just feel the stretch across each side of your back. Side to side gently, stretching out your low back. Inhaling and exhaling. 2 more. You're going to feel those hamstrings, backs of thighs pressing into the mat. You have 3 of them. Biceps femoris, the major one in the center, semitendinosus, semimembranosus. We have the medial, the lateral. Okay, we're going to come right back to the center now. What I want you to do, keeping centered, my mat's bunching up, there we go. Keeping centered, you lift and then you extend the spine right there. You're gonna feel how it goes into the tops of those inner thighs. Your knees could be soft if necessary. You could even put a little rolled up blanket under the knees if you needed the support. You could even sit on a rolled up blanket to bring your pelvis slightly up in the air off the mat. You could even sit on a yoga block. If the hips feel tight or the low back feels tight, lift the pelvis up a little bit to free up some space. Gently come forward. Maybe you'll bring your forearms onto the mat. Now I want you to feel like you can send the energy through the bottoms of your feet. From your center, push through the bottoms of your feet to keep that energy flowing. Stay here and breathe. Caution if you have herniated discs. Osteoporosis, we don't go very far. You would keep the knees soft. You wouldn't force anything. You'd be careful, safe on the hips, and you would just do a small little hip hinge. That's it. I'd sit on a yoga block too to help protect hips, low back. Breathe. Just breathe into any tightness and you'll notice how it just falls away. A lot of times we have mental resistance in the beginning, and when you address that mental resistance, then the physical resistance just falls away and becomes less because you remove some of the obstacles. So the mind and the body are connected. When Joseph Pilates was alive, I know we're doing yoga now, but when Joseph Pilates was alive, Pilates was not the term for the exercise. He called it contrology because the mind controls the body. So he was way ahead of his time. And he took Pilates moves from yoga, and from observing animals in the wild, and from martial arts. Yoga's been around for a few thousand years, so he was able to borrow from yoga and apply it in a different way through flow and form and movement, alignment with the breath. A lot of similarities, and still there's differences. Definitely one influence the other. As you feel a give, if you want to go a little deeper, you can. Keep the length in your spine, hinge from the hips, avoid bending from the back. Hinge from the hips. Keep the breastbone long. Toes and kneecaps face upwards to the sky to protect the integrity of your hip joints. Avoid letting your knees roll forward, because we don't want our femur bones rotating internally into the hip socket. We don't want that. We want to keep those knees facing to the sky, toes up. If you have hypermobility, you definitely don't want your joints to become too lax by hanging at the end range. So you have to learn how to dial it back a little. I don't have hypermobility, but when you do, you have to be careful that you don't just go to the very end and just chill and hang there without support, because over time, it's going to do damage to the tendons and ligaments. And then your alignment will actually change where you go beyond. You hyperextend all the joints and you have a hard time just holding your joints stable. And so ultimately, we don't want that to happen either. Anything in the extreme. We don't want to be too tight. We also don't want to be too limber without support. One more deep inhale here. Slowly elevate your heart, lengthen head away from tailbone, coming all the way up. And then we're just gonna squeeze those thighs together, shake out your knees, release. Excellent. One more time, fold those knees in. I want you to do a little windshield wiper once again. And you're gonna be just rolling across the sides of the hips. Excellent. Two more. And return center. Excellent. And then I'm gonna ask that you come back down to your mat. I want you to lie back down on the mat and just notice how your hips feel now. See if it's okay to just maybe reach under the thighs. Lift your breastbone to the sky, get a little extension, open shoulders, chest. Inhale, exhale, and then peel behind the sitting bones, the bones you're sitting on, and just work your way down to the mat. So that low back just gently falls against the mat. Wonderful. Your feet are gonna go hip width apart on your mat. So your feet are gonna be hip width apart. Once again, collarbones are wide. Your shoulders are down, relaxed. Shoulders down, neck long, collarbones wide. Just feeling open and spacious across the front of your shoulders and chest. And think of that same open spaciousness between the two shoulder blades and your back and your thoracic spine. And we're gonna work with that. Starting again with a posterior pelvic tilt. Scoop your core tight, peel your hip bones back towards your navel. Feel that space lengthening. Now your tailbone lifts. You wouldn't do this with spinal fusion surgery if you had hardware holding your spine together. We definitely don't want to be pulling it apart. So you only do articulating bridges if you're cleared to do articulating bridges. They're not for everyone, but if you are safe, it feels really good to create that space and mobility. So you're gonna peel the tailbone up, feel length in low back, scoop in deeper to the front of your core, lengthen the spine, peel the back of the pelvis up, and you're gonna make your way up, vertebra by vertebra. Stop before you get to the neck. You're across your shoulder girdle shelf. I don't want you to look at me in case by accident you push into the neck. You're in your middle back shoulder blade shelf. Inhale, your glutes are engaged, they're working. As you exhale, try to take the area between the shoulder blades and the thoracic spine to the mat. And you inhale, exhale, lower down a little more. You inhale, you exhale, a little bit more. A little bit more. Articulate all the way. We're gonna just do 2 more of those. So you're gonna peel your hip bones back towards navel, curl up, vertebra by vertebra. Feel the hips open right there. Feels really nice in there as you peel up. Collarbones really far and wide. Soften your sternum, your breastbone. Let it melt into the chest as you roll down through those vertebrae in there. Knees in line with hips. Work your way down just one more time. Pull into your center. Peel back. Press into your feet. Peel up bone by bone. All the way to the tailbone. Wonderful. Hug knees to chest. Let your spine just fall against the mat. Gently rock side to side across low back. Let your spine release. And we're ending with Ananda Balasana. Reach to the lateral pinky toe sides of your feet and gently let those knees fall to the mat. Maybe rock side to side. You could grab your peace fingers to your big toes if that feels good. Whatever works for you. Soften into the pose. Feel the crease of each thigh. Low back is on the mat. Lengthening spine into the mat. Feeling those hips release. Breathing in and breathing out. One more deep inhale here. And exhale softly, gently release. We're gonna bring our knees back in and just gently do 5 rotations, same direction. Letting your tailbone, sacrum massage into your mat. And then I want you to reverse the direction, easy and slow. Easy and slow. And come in. And we're just gonna stretch those arms over our head and just feel like you can just really lengthen the entire spine into your mat. And slowly we're gonna turn onto our side. Take a moment here. And then we're gonna slowly push ourselves to a seated position, easy and slow. Gently crossing ankles into our easy pose, our Sukhasana. And I hope you feel much better through the hips, through the inner thighs, and through the low back. Because when you work on your hip alignment, it helps because if one of your hips hikes up, it's gonna make your lateral side of your hip and glute super tight. And then you're gonna feel a pulling on the inside of the groin of the opposite side of the pelvis. And then you start to get back pain, and then you can have the pain coming from your spine just from uneven pulling, and it can affect the discs and the low back. So just thought I'd share that with you to help you if you ever get that pulling sensation on the inner thigh of one where it hurts the low back on the other side. So just sharing that with you, a little thing you could do to help yourself feel more centered. Gently reach arms to sky, bringing your hands to your heart. Think of green, healing energy, sending love in all directions, healing every cell of your body. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope this helped. From my heart to yours. Hope to see you soon. Take care, everyone. Save this to your playlist if what I worked on tonight is an issue that you have, and you can play it any time that you start to feel that tug on your inner thigh or pain running down your leg or in your spine. It'll help. Peace, everyone. Take care. Bye. See you soon. Might be a few days, but I'll be back. Take care. Peace. Bye. Again, Tracy with Downward Dog Rising. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you.